it's really easy for me to get like caught up and wrapped up in the whole the problems I have with humanity and society and life and people. It's such a distraction, from some of the most amazing parts of life. And I'm guilty of it. I do it a lot. I get wrapped up in my head, and I spend a lot of time on the internet, and I look around at things that are going on Facebook and um, YouTube and the news, and I'm always trying to think of ways to uh, protect myself from the damages and the dangers that we're seeing on the news all the time and on our Facebook feeds and everywhere that I go. And I'm as doom scrolly as everybody else, and I get ganked and I get all up in my head. But you know, uh, all the frustrations and anxieties and crap that I feel, it is all gone when I go outside. When I go for a walk, when I like, I'm watching a friend's dog. He's a very good dog. Let's see. Can you see him? Yeah, there he is. There he is. Anyway, he's a very good dog, and like, so I had to take him for a walk this morning, and it's amazing out here. I'm in the middle of a very urban kind of area, but here in the Pacific Northwest, they've got these giant parks, and there's trees, and there's just grass everywhere, and you can just sit there and hang out. There's a slide from like the 70s. Um, but it's the people, it's society, and it's the way man's inhumanity to man, human beings being rude to one another. That's the real evil and the real source of all of our frustrations. It's not evil when a tiger eats. It's not evil when a lamb eats grass. It's not evil, But people are just a-holes about it. We're not content to just take what we need and move on. We're jerks. Like, we have to cause pain to one another. And I spent a lot of time yesterday reading about Aries. It's part of the whole Aries nature, part of like how we fight for things. Aries is just a jerk. He's the lesser malefic, and it's not because it's because he's just a jerk about everything. He's always like trying to do mean things to help his spiteful mother. It's awful, but it's reflective of a certain aspect of humanity. I was thinking this morning about how Aries is the god that covers, that supports and protects and represents cops and the police. And I love the police, don't get me wrong. I think that we need to have a firm control over some kinds of aspects of evil in our societies for it to be taken care of. So I'm not in the all cops are bad camp, even though a lot of my friends are, and I understand where they're coming from. It's not a perfect world. We need to have warriors to protect us, and that's the cops in the city. So whatever, it is what it is. It's part of living here on Earth, in my opinion, that we have officers and protectors. But like, the thing is that Aries is the one that is governing them, and they have the same reputation as Aries does. Nobody likes cops. Nobody likes to be told they can't do things. And that's part of what Aries does. But also, I mean, it is the violence inherent in the human being that he represents. So anyway, it's just stuff I got to thinking about, and I'm sitting here in this beautiful place, and it's calmed me down. Like going for a walk, I get the endorphins flowing. That snaps me out of all kinds of crap. Just going for a 10-minute walk. I can't recommend that enough to anybody. But and it's just like, when I got here, this ancient slide I'm sitting on, this rusty piece of crap that's totally dangerous and unsafe as it is. Somebody broke a bottle on it to make it even more dangerous. Speaking of how jerks are about things. So like, even if a kid was daring to go down such a rusty, decrepit thing, they would still cut themselves to pieces because people are a-holes. Like, you can't get all that glass cleaned up. Um, yeah, what are you gonna do about that? You know? But the nice thing about this beautiful nature is that, like, everywhere I look, it's overgrowing everything that humans have tried to do. Everything that we've done on this planet. I mean, even as bad as it is, once we're gone, it starts to get better immediately. The climate change, like, we staved off a lot of problems when we had COVID. It gave us a little bit of more time. Um, anyway, it's amazing how quickly nature will recover, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't this time. And honestly, I don't know what I think about that. Sometimes I feel like, well, life will find a way, right? Because it does. And then other times I think, it was a grand experiment and we failed. But I don't know. If you look at the history of the gods that we've created for ourselves, the mythologies that we've projected onto these forces of nature and whatnot, um, it's cycles and it's patterns, and we expect it to be patterns. It's all very much themis, calendars, the order of the years, as it were. So anyway, yeah, there's just an ineffable beauty to all this stuff. It's growing, it's alive. Gaia is continuing to create. She's continuing to produce, and she's continuing to take care of herself and take care of us. She's creating monsters. She's creating wonders, beauty. It's amazing what we do, and it's amazing how we get to experience this life. We're part of it. Our electrical forces in our cells and our consciousness, the firings of our neurons. This is part of the whole interaction of sunlight and life. It's the interaction and the expression of that light. And it's Sunday. We can't forget that today. It's we are sunlight. We are walking around little batteries of solar powered experiences. Solar powered sensor organisms that are forming memories and sharing emotions with one another. And they don't have to be all bad. There are bad, there are good, there is all of that, but it is what it is. And we gotta just find our way through. So I got some ideas for how that works. I'm gonna keep talking about them. Anyway, take care, you guys. Have a great day. Happy Sunday. Class is gonna be on at 4. I still haven't sent out the materials. I've got some write up to do on it and some pictures to generate, and then it will go out probably shortly before class. So yeah, I will talk to you later. Have a great day. And oh, by the way, yesterday when I was talking about all that Christian stuff, um, I said some mean things about it because I was upset, and I've got some personal issues about Christianity and Christ and evangelicals, and it's all about my certain experiences I've been through that I may or may not talk about eventually. But it's about uh, just how it makes people think. Really upset me because of what some people did as a result of how they think. Um, anyway, it's not Christianity isn't bad. If you find peace and whatever in it, whatever, it's not any worse than, I mean, honestly, objectively, it's worse than some systems, I think. But I mean, I don't know. Other people would argue and have a good time about it. But I'm not here to judge what other people do. I'm here to express where things are at for me. That was where I'm at with Jesus. It's not where you should be with Jesus. It's up to you, and you need to figure that shit out. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Someone's walking through here. Take care.